Hey everyone, and welcome to the world of Australian giants. Australia was once ruled by some seriously huge creatures millions of years ago. These guys weren't just big, they were totally awesome. Picture this, a giant lizard, the Megalania, also called the giant ripper lizard. This thing was up to 23 feet long with super sharp claws and teeth. Australia also had the Thylacoleo, the marsupial lion with a crazy strong bite. And then there's the Diprotodon, the biggest marsupial ever. Oh, and don't forget the Quinkana, a scary hunter that ruled the waters. And hopping across the plains was the Procoptodon, a giant kangaroo. These creatures shaped Australia's history, and we're still learning about them today. So come with us on a trip back in time. Let's explore how these awesome creatures lived and ruled their world. Get ready to discover the giants of prehistoric Australia. Hey everyone, and welcome to the world of Australian giants. Australia was once ruled by some seriously huge creatures. These guys weren't just big, they were awesome. Picture this, a giant lizard, the Megalania, up to 23 feet long with super sharp claws and teeth. Australia also had the Thylacoleo, the marsupial lion, and the Diprotodon, the biggest marsupial ever. Don't forget the Quinkana, a scary hunter, and the Procoptodon, a giant kangaroo. These creatures shaped Australia's history, so come with us on a trip back in time. Let's explore how these creatures lived and ruled. Get ready to discover the giants of prehistoric Australia. Gap 2S. Hey everyone, a long time ago, Australia was home to some of the scariest creatures ever, and the king of them all, the Megalania, also called the giant ripper lizard. This lizard was so tough, even today's predators would look tiny next to it. We're talking huge and super scary. It was the ultimate hunter of its time. The Megalania could grow up to 23 feet long. That's longer than a car. But it wasn't just its size. This lizard had razor-sharp claws and teeth like saws. It could bite right through the toughest skin, no problem. Its jaws were so strong it could crush bones. Plus, its bite was poisonous. With a great sense of smell and supervision, it could find anything it wanted to eat. But the Megalania wasn't just a big bully. It was a smart hunter too. It would hide in the bushes and wait patiently for its dinner to come along. Then, bam! Surprise attack! And if its prey tried to run, no way! The Megalania was fast and could easily chase them down. So, with its size, strength, and smarts, the Megalania was the boss of prehistoric Australia. Just seeing it would scare any other animal away. It was definitely at the top of the food chain. We're going to explore more about these amazing hunters and how they ruled their world. Stick around to learn more about these ancient giants, starting with the Megalania, the ultimate predator. Gap 2S. Hey everyone, and welcome to Australia way back in time. Back then, the world was a super wild place. Think huge forests and giant deserts, and the weather was crazy unpredictable. That's the world we're going to explore today. Gap 2S. A long time ago, Australia had some of the coolest and strangest animals ever. These guys were rock stars in a world that was always changing. From thick rainforests to dry deserts, each animal had its own special spot. Gap 2S. We're going on a time-traveling adventure to discover the secrets of these awesome animals. We'll meet the Megalania, the biggest lizard ever, and the Thylacoleo, a marsupial lion with a super strong bite. We'll learn all about how it hunted. Gap 2S. But it's not just about the scary predators. We'll also see some gentle giants like the Diprotodon. And don't forget the Quinkana, a scary crocodile, and the Procoptodon, a giant kangaroo. Gap 2S. Each of these animals was super important. Their stories will show us how tough and adaptable life was in prehistoric Australia. Gap 2S. So, get ready to go back in time to a land of giant animals. We'll see how they survived in a world that was always changing. Stay tuned to learn all about these prehistoric titans, starting with the awesome Megalania. Gap 2S. Hey everyone, let's dive into the world of prehistoric Australian animals. Life was tough back then. The weather was always changing. Crazy droughts and huge floods were common. Scary predators were everywhere. Imagine a giant lizard called the Megalania, or a fierce marsupial lion called the Thylacoleo. They had to be tough to survive. Stay tuned to uncover the secrets of these prehistoric giants. Did you know about the Megalania, the largest lizard in Australia? Welcome to Scarhound. Today we explore prehistoric Australia's creatures. These beings shape the continent's ecosystems. Share your thoughts below. Click subscribe to uncover amazing animals. Travel back to a land ruled by giants. Our first stop is the Pleistocene epoch, a time when giant creatures roamed the earth. Here, in the hot plains of Australia, lived a creature so scary it could frighten any living thing. Imagine a lizard, but a huge one. This was Megalania. Imagine a Komodo dragon, but much bigger. Megalania was the top predator of its time, growing up to 23 feet long. Its strong legs, with claws as sharp as knives, could take down prey much bigger than itself. and its jaws filled with sharp teeth could give a poisonous bite. Imagine this, a megalania, lying in the Australian sun, its tongue tasting the air for the smell of food. It sees a group of Diprotodon, giant marsupials that we'll meet later. Suddenly, it runs, scattering the group and picking its target. Megalania was a powerful force, a real monster of the Pleistocene. Our next stop is prehistoric Australia in thick forests and rough lands. Here, hiding among the trees was Thylacoleo carnifex. Picture an animal the size of a jaguar. Thylacoleo had huge, sharp front teeth. It used its strong legs and sharp claws to grab prey. These teeth were tools for pulling meat off bones. Thylacoleo was an amazing example of evolution. Chapter 3. Diprotodon, the gentle giant. Meet Diprotodon, the largest marsupial ever. Imagine a wombat the size of a car. This giant lived in Australia, eating plants. These gentle giants walked in groups, hunted by Megalania and Thylacoleo. Chapter 4. Quincana, terror in the water. Prehistoric Australia's rivers and swamps were full of life and danger. Hiding in the water was Quincana, a terrifying land-dwelling crocodile. Unlike today's crocodiles, Quincana thrived on land too. Suddenly the water explodes with snapping jaws. Quincana attacks. Its sharp teeth could kill any animal that got too close. Quincana was a master of both land and water, a true top predator. Chapter 5. Procoptodon, the giant kangaroo that vanished. Prehistoric Australia, a land of sun and wind. Here lived Procoptodon, the giant short-faced kangaroo. Imagine a kangaroo 10 feet tall. Procoptodon walked on two legs, its long arms grabbed food from trees. Procoptodon had a short, flat face. This helped it eat tough plants. Sadly, Procoptodon disappeared. Climate change and humans might be the reason. Outro. Farewell to giants. That's the end of our journey through prehistoric Australia. We've seen amazing creatures from Megalania to Diprotodon, but their story has an end. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to Scarhound and click like. What should we talk about next? Tell us in the comments below.